red. Speed. Oh, that was. It was like. I swear, I don't
It's
have.
a lot.
Yeah, I peaked the audio
Came in
there.
hard.
I peaked it a bit. I just peaked it
Yeah.
like that, you
Yeah.
know.
Audio
Uh,
peak.
audio peaked. Me peaked in high school. I didn't actually. I didn't feel like
That's
it did at least. Let's hope that wasn't my peak.
yeah.
That would be a
God,
dark ass timeline right
that would
there.
be awful.
So hope
So
you got something to say
I have a formal announcement
to make.
that I need to make.
Sonic the Hedgehog is a bitch ass motherfucker.
So I've done a lot of thinking lately,
What's your thinking?
and I've come to a conclusion that for the remainder of this season, I'm going to bandwagon the Milwaukee Brewers.
What are they?
That's a baseball team.
That's a baseball team. Is it because your team's bad?
My team,
Because I know your team is bad right now. At least you brought it up at
yeah.
one point.
Well, my team is the Mets, the New York Mets, and they are always bad. But this year, they started off real hot, top of their division, had the best pitcher in baseball, and then he goes down with an injury, and our team starts to suck again, and we're just going massively downhill. I don't see us coming out of this hole, so I'm using my Packers and Bucks fandom to use as an in to the other Wisconsin team, and I've decided I'm going to be a Brewers fan for the remainder of this season. I'm going to stick with my Mets long term. I'm not fully jumping ship, but for the remainder of this season, I'm going to bandwagon the Brewers. So yeah, there's my formal announcement. Ooh,
What?
zoom, you're a little closer to the camera now.
No, I lowered it. It was.
Oh, it
It
looks
was
like
like.
closer.
It was like. You. This was the main angle here, and it's like
Yeah.
to connect, you need to have the face there,
Yeah,
preferably
they need-
two eyes. But the way I have my camera set up, you can't do that. I can sit at an angle though. Continue. Sorry.
You can't set your camera up where it's looking at you face on.
I fucked with the attachment point, so now when I try to sit it on like a monitor, it just slips off. Because it's like the little rubber, it like rests and it's.
Yeah.
I have a tripod which has a screw hole, so it's on a tripod, but that's the best I can do. I'll try to mess with it to get a better angle. Sorry I interrupted your. I understand though where you're coming from, because I'm literally doing that right now with the Chiefs. Because this, especially like, the Lions are bad.
Mm-hmm.
For the foreseeable future, they will be bad. Nothing probably will change that, especially this season, since they got rid of the only thing keeping them in any game, which is Stafford.
Yeah.
Because he was asking for too much money. Well, enough money for him, too much for the Lions because they don't win. And I'm just going to go for the team of the place I primarily live at, which is the Chiefs. So, I mean, they're good. It's not because they're good. It's because it's where I literally. I'm sorry I live here. At least I didn't pick at least I didn't go. Well, I'm jumping temporarily to the Patriots or anything.
Yikes.
I would not do that. But
Yeah.
my dad's like, I'll get you a Mahomes jersey so we can blend in.
I would feel a lot worse if I was bandwagoning like the Dodgers.
Are they like top tier? I don't know baseball.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They won the World Series last year, and they traded for a whole bunch of really good players, and they're basically the Patriots right now. And I didn't bandwagon to the Yankees, who are the enemy perpetually.
But it would have given you a reason to wear a Yankees cap flat bill, which is like the big meme.
I refuse. The Brewers, I feel like the Brewers have always kind of been my second team anyway, because, like I said, I'm a fan of the Packers, I'm a fan of the Bucks, so I'm already like 2/3 of the way through the Wisconsin teams, and really I should just be a Brewers fan anyway, so I don't feel as bad about jumping to them as I would if I jumped to one of the Patriots teams. So yeah, that's
Understandable.
that's that. The Lions might be good in the future. They got what, like 2 first-round picks from the Rams. So
I don't know the specifics. I just know that they are going to have an adjustment period because I know that they heavily relied on Stafford.
yeah,
Like I'm surprised he didn't break his back because he was carrying the whole damn team. So like they're gonna have an adjustment period that I guarantee is gonna last like 2-3 years, and maybe they'll figure
yeah,
something out.
probably.
But
But
right
with the
now, it doesn't matter who they have because it's all fucky wucky. They're not gonna be able to do anything right with
yeah,
how it is.
but with the two, if Dan Campbell is good as a coach, and I mean it's hard to be worse than fucking Matt Patricia, who y'all had before. And with if you guys hit on the 2 first-round picks you get from the Rams, I could see you guys being a pretty good team 2, 3 years down the line.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I went to the Chiefs and Vikings preseason game,
Hmm.
which was we missed the first 2 quarters, or like we missed the first quarter and then the half of the second because it was just traffic. Because
Yeah.
you would think this is main season. You think this is playoffs, bro. This traffic was insane. It's because
Yeah.
Chiefs fans are crazy. But I was watching. I was like, man, I d- my grandma was sitting next to me, big Vikings fan,
Oh.
and I was watching it, and I just looked over at her, and she kept going. And I think the coach's name is like Zimmer or something, or like
Yeah, Mike
Zimmon.
Zimmer.
And she's like, it's all Zimmer's fault. They just run it down the middle. It never works, but they keep doing it, and it's. I was like, hey, I would like watch them get in a position to go. I think they started coming back that like the end of the game. I don't think they won
Hmm.
though because we left early because we were trying to skip the traffic again.
Yeah.
But I would like look over. They're gonna run it. She's like, no, they won't. I'm like, yes, they will. Watch. And then they do it, and I'm like, they're gonna. It's not gonna work, and it didn't work because you could just see. They know it's like the signal of like if I don't have knowledge of these things. If I could
Hmm.
tell what you're gonna do, they know too.
Oh,
The other
absolutely.
team
Yeah.
knows what's going on. So when they are like when it's barely any time left of that like quarter or whatever was going on
Hmm.
and you're losing by a lot and you're like 12 yards from the end zone, they're not going to kick it. They're going to go for it. And everyone
Yeah.
knows you're going to go for it. They're not tricking anyone. And so
Yeah.
they do it. And then they're like, oh my God, how did they know? It's like,
Yeah.
it was just like watching. It was so like a sad display. And I was like, I'm getting deja vu of like literally like in actual season Lions games. Like that's just them all the time. Like everyone knows what they're going to do. They rely on they're gonna throw. They're gonna throw. It's all they do is they throw.
Yeah. Well,
Oh well. Anything interesting happened to you this week? Anything fun?
not a whole lot. School. Back to school.
Oh yeah.
So that's great. What? Just Andy.
Heck yeah. Woo!
Woo, yeah. Woo. School.
Discord's.
No, yeah. This week has been pretty boring for me. Just dealing with school, pretty much. Not a whole lot else.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly, I'm thinking like the future here, future eps.
Hmm.
It's gonna be a lot of just a lot of school this week.
Yeah,
We're both in college doing college classes. Like I don't know what the fuck else am I doing? I don't
We're
know.
gonna we're gonna have to bring back the weird ass hypotheticals and
I thought of a couple, but they just don't hold any water, so it's not gonna work.
mm, mm,
Um, I wasn't say I didn't do anything interesting, but besides I went to that game that was interesting. But we also or I started. God damn. We started production on our like KNWT like it's the schools show, right?
mhm.
And I'm on a new show this year because I'm on two because I'm in advance, so I get to do two. And one of them is this thing called Nerdmageddon, and it's like a radio show. Oh, all the names are cringe, all of them.
Okay, yeah.
My second show is Nerd Central, guys.
Sheesh.
And the logo is an NC and like a Superman thing. Oh, it's bad.
Mm.
But like the name and stuff is cringe, but it itself is not like that crazy or anything, not cringy, or it just tends to be it's like a entertainment news show.
Sure.
But Nurmagedon is like an entertainment news show, but on the radio, and they live stream it on like Facebook. And so there's one crew spot, one thing you do, and that's hit the button. And there's a switcher board that's like the size of a keyboard. It's really fucking small because you don't do much, and you just go. I'll just. But it's not even that fast. It's not even that interesting. It's like, okay, he's talking. Okay, switch. And so you'll just be like having a conversation with someone. You'll notice no one's talking. Switch to like camera 5 or something. Like,
yeah.
It's so bad. And I was like, oh my god, this is like really easy. And I was just like, why was I not? I should have. Like they got it down. Like they spend, I think, like 3 hours just in the room, doing their thing. And I hit a button. And I mean, I think it's gonna be fun, but it's the only interesting like new thing that's happened to me. The rest of my schedule and shit is the same. So besides new classes, but I'm sure the people don't want to hear about school classes. I'm sure that's not a interesting topic.
Is it any like? Do you almost wish it was harder? So it was a little more. You were a little more involved.
Well, it was the first time, and we were kind of being shown the ropes. Being shown the ropes took like a minute. And then they do like this. It's like 8 to 10. It's a big long show. We only had to switch for like 5 minutes, then we could leave. But usually you'll do like the show segment, and then they're doing this new thing where you go to the studio and do like on camera filming.
Sure.
There's no like schedule for it. They're just gonna, when they finish an episode and they like it, they'll put it out. So we might do like 2 the entire semester. Okay. And that's like there's like a debate or something. I don't know what it's. Some like who would win, Godzilla versus King Kong, something like that. But not Godzilla, that topic. Well, yeah, but just debate's sake, they'll find someone who's a contrarian and So, I mean, that's really it. So it will like ramp up, I guess, but the other show fills because I have to do the 3-minute pack a week. So I have to make on my own a 3-minute, like I do like movie reviews, like shitty movie reviews. That's the point.
Sure.
It's not hard. But...
I remember you were talking about. I forgot. I think it might have been a couple years ago, or last year or the year before, maybe. But you were doing one where you would get like really cheap games.
Yeah, that was when I was on. I was on Gen 2, which is it's the video game show. But I was only on there one semester. I applied for it again, and they didn't want me back because I half-assed my pack really bad. Mine was like a slideshow essentially. It was so bad, and it's because nothing feels worse than spending money every week on shit you're never gonna touch again. Yeah. So it's like, ugh. And Trash Flicks, which is the one I do for Nerd Central, is similar, where it's just, ugh, I have to watch a shit movie. It's not even like fun shit. It's like I have to find genuinely bad stuff on Netflix. So if you have any ideas, shoot them my way, because I'm having trouble now. I'm having trouble finding them on Netflix because I've scoured, because they have to be on Netflix. That's the gimmick. Trash Flicks, Netflix. That's the bit.
I'll send you some recs.
Okay, please do, because I need help for that, because I've gone through. I went down the list. Like I watched the Avatar movie, like The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
I watched that, and oh my god, I started doing like the 5-second skip, like it was so bad. I couldn't, unbearable.
I wish I was kind of because you're in your final year.
Yes, if everything works.
And despite me being the same age as you, I'm in my first year effectively because I'm a fuck up who didn't get his shit done.
Yep.
And
Just how it is.
I wish I was in those more like all the classes I'm taking right now are just general classes
Gen
basically.
Eds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boring.
And it's boring. It's terrible. I wish I was in classes that actually like engaged me and were more involved. Um, the most like engaging class I'm in, I am taking an introduction to acting class
Have it?
because the school I'm at is really tech oriented. And so they don't have a fully fledged like art program or anything like that or arts. So they don't have a film program at all, and they don't really have they don't have a theater major. So introduction to acting is the only like theater slash film class that they have. So I saw it. I'm taking it. I heard there might be some film classes coming next semester or next year, but yeah, like right now it's just I'm just taking gen classes and working my way through it. So
Yep.
not very involved, not very engaging, not super great. But doing what I gotta do, I guess.
Yeah. It's the early college grind is like usually it's offset by like I feel like college is like American specifically because I live in America or United States, I guess.
Hmm.
That college system has been they know two things very well. They know how to make like classes like set them up per year basis. Like if you're a
Hmm.
freshman, you want to take gen eds first. You don't want to do all your fancy shit because then you'll be stuck with gen eds later and it's just like annoying. And so they do the requirements. They know how everyone's going to work. They do like the, oh, you have to take this or take that kind of thing. And they're
Hmm.
also good at shoving everyone in the same spot and making them sit next to each other for long, like for a semester period, right?
Yeah.
The dorm system. I feel like freshman year without being in a dorm or at least near a campus where you can participate in campus life is just all the negatives of freshman year college and none of the positives.
Yeah.
And so that must be like invaluable because I was in a dorm with my friend and it was like I hated every moment of those classes. They were just math and science and history and stuff that is
Hmm.
infinitely boring. But I could go to this area where it's like I didn't even do anything. I just sat in my room and played video games. But I could go out at like 2 in the morning and look for new puke puddles or whatever the fuck. Someone bleached a penis into the carpet because they thought it'd be funny to have an orange penis on the carpet because bleach.
Yeah.
So like there's just the dumbness of like I feel like it's counterbalanced and
Yeah.
it's been optimized, but doing it like I'm talking like all my friends who like do college that's like they're like not on campus or they're like doing weird situations where they're not in those scenarios.
Hmm.
It's like they hate it infinitely more, and it's like
Yeah.
I think it's because they didn't account for those people as well as the people who live there. Because
Yeah.
I feel like they are aware. The college people, they're not dumb. They're aware of like our classes suck. Our classes suck. No one likes them, especially the freshmen. Let's put them in dorms and have very loose moderation, and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and yeah, it'll be balance it out. And I feel like I don't know, just that's the system you should that it's designed for. Whether or
Yeah.
not it's a good system is up for debate. But it did make it more tolerable for me. I hated the dorms, but I also missed them just a tad bit.
Yeah. I was in dorms. I was living on campus. My first like real year. Um, back when I still lived in Missouri.
Hmm.
And yeah, I hated class. Didn't go to many of them. Kind of just fucked off. But there was, as you've been saying, there was the sort of mental reprieve from it all
Hmm.
because you could go to the dorms and like fuck around and like just be party to all the nonsense that went on
Yeah.
when you have hundreds of 18 to 19-year-olds crammed together in one small space. And now, even though I'm still technically a freshman, I guess, because of credits, I'm living off campus. Um, and it's just like you said, I get all the negatives of having to do the bullshit classes that I don't want to even do at all, and none of the good because I don't get to go see the puke puddles and go
I say
like
that like it was a common occurrence. I just thought of some random shit I saw once. I don't know.
yeah, no, absolutely. I don't get to like walk through the dorm lobby where all the potheads are high off their fucking gourd.
That's so true. Why are they always there? They congregate there.
Yeah,
Post
yeah.
weed sesh, they all go to the dorm, and it ruins the fucking like. Oh, it's late at night. I want to make ramen in the microwave. I have to walk through the fucking cloud of weed smell to get my ramen or popcorn made. I
Yeah,
I don't want to smell that.
I do. I thought that was awesome.
Do
That
it
was a fun
somewhere
thing.
else. Go in your cars. I don't know. Hotbox it.
I don't think they smoke in the lobby, or at least
No,
they didn't where I was. But
they
I
can't.
I
There's people there usually.
yeah, yeah. I though that's kind of a difference between me and you because I was definitely party to all the weed smoking that went on, and
I'm a good boy. I don't do
yeah,
that.
you're a good boy, and I'm not.
The
I'm
only
not a
thing
good boy.
keeping me from that is I just don't find it tempting. I don't see it as something I would enjoy.
Sure,
It's not a moral thing. I don't think you're bad if you smoke weed.
we got to do an episode where we get high and record an episode of our podcast high.
Oh God. Let's wait until it's legal everywhere or something, so I don't get reprimanded by my parents. Because
I think it's
I think they would. I don't know if they watch this, but they know it exists.
I think it's legal almost everywhere.
It's it's getting there. I'd give it like 5 6 years. Um,
5 6 years before you'll smoke weed with me
I don't
and
even want to
record an
smoke it.
episode.
I don't want to inhale anything. I don't like that
Why?
because I don't want to put non-air in my body. I won't even vape if it has no nicotine. I don't care. I won't do it. That is the one thing that's like polar opposites for us there. I I don't dislike other people doing it. Go ahead. I just don't like it. I don't like the idea of it. It weirds me out. But
Okay.
I will like eat a fucking gummy or some shit.
Okay. Sure.
But jumping from that,
Yeah.
I reminded myself of a bunch of. I want to tell some stories that I don't think I've told on here about the
Okay.
dorms. And I think, as you said, when you shove people in a building and they're all like adolescents,
Hmm.
there's one character trait that all young people share, and that is rampant idiocy.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it builds on itself and it thrives in those environments. So I've seen some, and there was some actually like dangerous stuff happened,
Hmm.
mainly gross and also funny, and I want to share a few of those. So
Sure.
the one I can think of off the top of my head, I'll elaborate on the penis on the carpet.
Okay.
So you're not supposed to. So the dorms heavily regulate alcohol. Even if you were hypothetically 21 and were able to buy it, you're not allowed to have it in the dorms because of school policy. No one's
Okay.
21 and in dorms because why would you ever do that?
Yeah.
But or some of them are, but not most of them.
Sure.
But you can't have it in there if at all. There's like people who they'll do patrols every once in a while. They can't.
Hmm.
There's a lot of weird like rules. Like you can't open any drawers because that's technically like opening something of yours, which is against the rules.
Hmm.
But there's like you can't do that. But people will either drink then go back to their dorms, or they'll sneak it in like during quiet hours, and no one will come and knock at that point.
Sure.
So I didn't because I was a good boy once again. But me and my friend would hear like things happening in the hallways, things running amok. People are being a little rowdy, and it's like we look at the clock and it's like 3 a.m. on a Friday night, so you know what's happening.
Yeah, for sure.
And we woke up the next day to go. I think we were going to. I was going alone to breakfast. Maybe I don't remember how we saw it, but at one point we saw a orange penis in the carpet because bleach on carpet will turn it orange.
Yeah.
And then like 30 meters away, there was a giant orange pool, like not pool, but like a spot, but it was huge.
Yeah, I get you.
And we were like, thought it was the funniest shit in the world because haha penis, and then haha bleach, and they're idiots and laughing at dumb people doing dumb things. And the story of it was these guys were partying in their dorm, door closed, like 4 or 5 people in these. They were tiny rooms, fucking small. Yeah. And they were all like out of their mind drunk. And they had like a couple of girls over, and they just, one of them walked into the hallway and started pissing on the ground. And apparently she also started vomiting and pissing like while she was standing there. Oh, this is like from someone who was there. I'm hearing this like secondhand from someone who like walked by and was like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. And then they panicked. And for some reason they have bleach in their room. I presume for washing whites or something, like the white clothes.
Sure.
And they were like, well, bleach will get rid of it. So they just poured bleach in a big ass puddle after they cleaned it. However well you can drunkenly clean piss and vomit.
Yeah.
Poured bleach in this giant puddle right in front of their fucking door, so you know who did it.
Yeah.
And like 15 feet away in front of the door that goes down the stairs, like to get, because it was like a pillar building, so it was like 5-6 floors. We were on the 3rd. Right in front of that, they were like, while they were in this drunken stupor, we're like, oh my god, it's turning it orange. You know what'd be funny? Drawing a penis of bleach on the carpet. And there was this was a huge deal. People, like, advisors of the school came into the dorm and were like, we gotta know who did this. There's, like, big deals. They started airing their grievances. Apparently people on the other side, because it was like this diamond-shaped tower. And there was this, in the middle were elevators and stairs. So you can't see the people on the other side of the tower. It's like a big hallway circle.
Sure,
and just towers. So on the other side, we never interacted with them. We just walked to the elevators or the stairs and went down. People were leaving trash just everywhere. It was just disgusting, apparently, a cesspool. And so everyone, like, we had advisor, like, head honchos of the school come in and be like, you guys are going to have to start paying for damages because it's that bad. Mm-hmm. And it's just, it was like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. The giant puke puddle and bleach, whatever. And they're like a week later, there was a carpet cut hole where both of those were. And then the day after that, it was brand new carpet that didn't even match. And so the damage was known. Everyone knew. Yeah. And that was one of the things. Do you have anything you want to?
So while you were talking about that, it made me think about something that happened not kind of recently. So 2 of our good friends, Sil and Max, came up to South Dakota where I'm living.
Yep.
And we were getting fairly intoxicated, and so I was drinking pretty heavily. I went through anyway, I was drinking a lot, had a lot of beers, was doing a lot of shots. Max was staying mostly sober for personal reasons, and I think Sil started out going a little harder than I did, but I started doing shots at a much more rapid pace than the other 2. Mm-hmm. And then I had a joint with me. Mm-hmm. So we go outside, and we're smoking a little, and it's one of those things where, like, they would, like, my typical thing is the puff pass. I take 2, I pass it on. They were only taking one each, so it'd get back to me quicker, and I would take another 2. So Max was basically sober. Mm-hmm. Sil was pretty intoxicated. I was not on planet Earth anymore.
Okay.
And there's a when you mix weed, hard liquor, I was drinking tequila and whiskey
Ew.
and beer. When you mix all those things together, your stomach really doesn't like it very much.
Yeah, I agree with
So
it.
I got pretty sick. And the absolute worst thing you could ever do to someone who's sick is just like watch them be sick.
I have no issue with it, honestly, personally.
I despise it. I was there in the hotel room. We had got a hotel room, and I was getting sick, vomiting onto the floor.
You can't even
Um,
no courtesy to get to the toilet. Come on.
nah, it hit me.
Oh.
Well, it started with me laying down on the floor to
Oh,
try
you
to
see, you
relax.
changed the angle of the stomach. You ruined it. You're not supposed to do that.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so I was laying on the floor, got sick, started throwing up, and Max is just standing, like arms across the chest, just looking down at me. Sil was like sitting on the edge of the bed, looking down on me as I was just vomiting up everything I had eaten over the past 3 days onto this floor. It was disgusting,
Oh,
absolutely
I'm
disgusting.
sure. Yeah.
Um, and Sil's kind of intoxicated, so she's getting a little upset and a little emotional, and Max is just like stone faced, like just like whatever. And
Think about how
there's
he's got to clean it.
yeah,
Because he's the
yes,
only one who can.
yes, yep, 100%. Um,
I can image this perfectly in my brain, knowing
and
all three of you.
Yeah, Max is trying to like calm Sil down because Sil is like starting to freak out a little bit, and they're getting a little worried about me because like I'm in a rough state,
Yep.
and Max is like trying to calm her down, just calm down. He's fine. Everything will be fine. And I'm listening to them talk about me as if I'm not there, and I get fucking pissed. So I like the sheer like the force of anger inside of me in that moment sobered me up almost completely. I stood up to my feet and was like, just fucking go to sleep, both of you, go to sleep. We're done. And it's like it's the most hilarious moment of like envisioning me just like vomit everywhere, trying to like be like everything's fine. This is normal. Go to bed.
Probably dribbling.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Just probably on the shirt too. It's
It's
fine.
fine. Everything's fine.
I'm
Go to sleep.
A-okay.
And then I curled up on the bathroom floor and went to bed and woke up the next morning. And Max was like, so I cleaned it up the best I could. And I was like, ah,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, Max.
I've had to do that before. I had to be that person. So
Yeah, that's rough.
I was with Lucas, my friend.
Sorry, Max.
I was with Lucas, my friend. He's fine that I bring him up because he's been on my stuff before. He doesn't give a shit. And we were having bevies, and he went. I was like, I got a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he started like puking. I'm not gonna get into the details because it was like he got like real bad, and I had to just clean up the mess, and it was not fun. So I've been there.
Yeah.
I had help. His girlfriend came by and helped clean up, but it was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Not a fun time for anyone involved. So
Nope.
it probably soured that evening.
That's like
for Max.
I'm always gonna. It's a complete asshole move, but I'm always gonna be the most drunk so that no one expects me to clean up.
Dude, that's like fucking galaxy brain play. It's 200 IQ. Like, if
No,
I am the
absolutely.
one doing it, it's not my problem.
Exactly.
It's
If
your problem.
if I'm too drunk to like stand up and form coherent sentences, nobody's gonna expect me to help clean up. So I'm always gonna get the most fucked up.
Oh,
It's bad.
I don't like that. It makes me feel bad. I've never had that issue. So I hope to keep it that way. because I've done similar things, not while intoxicated, but just being sick in general and having other people clean it up is just, I feel so bad. I'm like, oh, that's like my stuff. That's like, that
Yeah.
came out of me. It's my responsibility.
When I
But
was
you
like
have to do it because
when I
I
was like
can't.
when I was like 9 years old, I uh I was staying in my grandma's house, my great grandma. She had a house out in the middle of basically nowhere, and there was only one guest bedroom that was being taken up by my cousin. So it was me, my dad, my sisters, I think my dad's girlfriend, and we were all in the basement. And
Hmm.
it was a wide open, it was like a studio space type basement where it's just a big wide open area, and there's like two beds off to the in the corners, and um the couch, like my little sister was on the couch, my older sister was on one bed, my dad and his girlfriend were on the other bed, and I I got sick in the middle of the night, and like it just came on really suddenly. Like I woke up and I was like, "Oh, I'm sick," and I threw up just right there, laying on the floor.
Hmm.
Um, and I remember like I was 9 years old, like projectile vomiting. I felt awful,
Yeah.
and I was like crying, and it was terrible. And I remember my dad got up, and he was like, "No, you're cleaning this up. Like, go get a towel.
Oh my.
You're cleaning it up." And I was 9 years
You don't
old.
even know how to. I'll
I was
fucking
like,
mush it around. Like I
yeah,
don't know what the fuck.
that's all I did. I got the towel. I was like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Like, I was so pissed off in that moment.
Yeah, I hearing that gives me like Vietnam flashbacks because I would argue vomiting and stomach sickness, not even just vomiting, but stomach sickness, whether it's coming up out the front or out the back, either
Yeah.
way, that's the worst thing humans can endure. I genuinely believe that having a like not like oh a little bit until my stomach hurts and I barfed once in the morning or like I had diarrhea this morning or
Yeah.
this last night because I ate a bad pizza. Like I'm talking like severe food poisoning or like a stomach bug so bad you feel like you're gonna die.
Hmm.
That is the worst thing humans give. I'd rather get shot in like the arm than deal
Hmm.
with that. It is so bad because I had a so there's only one time via sickness I thought I was genuinely had a risk of dying or was going to die. And that was a stomach bug I had here last year, right before COVID breakout. So it was like a month before it got to America.
Hmm.
And I was on the toilet for a solid 7 or 8 hours. I didn't get up. I couldn't because it would like things would leave me.
Yes.
And it was at a point where instead of there being, let's call it, a mixture of the three forms of matter, it was solely the liquid state
Yeah.
to a point where it was like it was all at because that's what that is. If no one knows, when you got diarrhea, it's like that because of excess acid. Your
Hmm.
body's like expelling shit from your stomach, and that the acid in your stomach causes that. So it burns. It was so bad. It was unbearable. And then I was like starting to like not vomit, but it would come up, get in my mouth, and then go back down.
It's awful.
And then it was I started to sweat. I didn't. I was expelling everything. I could barely even keep water in. I couldn't eat. God, don't even think about eating. Just
Yeah.
I got to a point where I had to get up from the toilet and I fell on the ground and I couldn't move my legs because I sat so long that they were like floppy. I couldn't move them until it all came
Mm.
back, you know? Like when you sleep on your arm too long. It was
Yeah.
so bad. I like called my mom. I was like, I think I'm gonna die. Like it was the worst thing I ever felt in my entire life. And then like after like almost it was like 5 days of it was like escalated like a bell curve. It got really bad on like the third day and then kind of did that.
Hmm.
After like 5 days of sickness, I wake up on like the end of the week. I wouldn't have known I was sick the previous day. just
Mhm.
gone. I was like, what was that? it was like I've never had food poisoning, but that's what I think food poisoning is like. But I don't think it lasts that long. So whatever I had was the worst thing I ever had in my entire life. I had Rona, bro. I had Rona and I got it bad, and I would take
Yeah.
that in a heartbeat over what I had to go through like a month prior, because with Rona, at least I could eat.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so bad. Oh my god. And
Yeah.
Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah. Shit sucks. We're gonna have to put like a warning at the beginning of this video for all the disgusting shit we've talked about.
Disclaimer: for the first 40 minutes, for majority of the podcast, we talk about vomit, piss, shit.
It's yeah.
It's the gross out episode, guys.
Yeah.
Gross.
This is how we weed out the loyal viewers from the casual viewers.
Yeah, this is where the concurrent watch rate will be like right about to 20 minutes, where we start talking about the vomiting, and then you'll see it do this.
Yep. Yep.
Everyone, fuck that. Goddamn. Yeah. Do you have any sickness stories? You want to elaborate?
I just
That
elaborated on
was that your the critical experience? See, I think
No, my actual critical experience. So there was one. I I don't know why, but my body always gets sick around the holidays. Um, especially
that's
like
the worst.
Thanksgiving. From like I don't get sick real often, but I get sick every single Thanksgiving.
That's weird.
And I mean genuinely every single Thanksgiving. I've been sick on Thanksgiving every year since like 2012. And I remember one year.
Do you have like that one family member that's the current trend or something? Like, are they like licking doorknobs then giving you a hug or something? I don't know.
No, and it's like it's so weird, and I don't even understand why it happens this way. But like, and I know it's not a family member who like gets me sick, because it happened while I was still living with family and everything. It happens every year, and then the year I moved up to St. Joe for college, I got sick on Thanksgiving, like over Thanksgiving break while I was away at college. So I know it's not a family member because I wasn't around anybody. But I think when I was 16 or 17, I was bedridden for 3 days. And when I say like I was bedridden, I mean like I could not get up for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
And like every time I like would go to sleep, it would feel like my body was getting struck by lightning.
What does that mean?
Like I heard, it's like the booming of thunder in my ears.
Is that like you think of blood?
And maybe, yeah, and like flashing behind my eyes, and then I would wake up and my whole body would be like burning. Like I don't mean like I'm overheating like the flu. I mean like I felt like lightning was coursing through my veins.
Huh.
And I was laying there, and my whole family were like, they're so used to it because I get sick, like I said, every single Thanksgiving. So nobody's even reacting as I'm laying on the couch, like genuinely feeling like I'm dying. Couldn't eat for 3 days. Definitely couldn't drink anything for 3 days. Just the pulsing and the flashing behind my eyes. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. I was gone for like 3-4 days. And yeah, I genuinely thought I was gonna die then, because I was like, it was so weird, and unlike any like sickness I've ever had before. Yeah.
Oh, you ended that like you were gonna continue with like more, and I was like, so you're like,
yeah, no, I don't.
That's it.
It's just, yeah,
it sucked ass.
It was weird. It was awful.
Did you have a fever?
Probably.
If you did, then it might have been that flashing in the eyes. When I had Rona or COVID, it's not Rona anymore. Everyone calls it COVID now. But when I had that, the main issue for me was like fever. I felt really hot. It was the
Hmm.
hottest fever I had in my entire life. I thought I was melting. Like I thought
Hmm.
my brain was genuinely going to get damaged. But I could hear my blood, and it was like
Hmm.
it was almost like a drum, like a bass, like the drum that they use the foot pedal, like a boom,
Hmm.
boom, boom. And it was like boom, boom, boom. And when I closed my eyes, it was if I looked at a light, you could see like the red, like the orange from like you're seeing through your eyelids.
Hmm.
But it was like I could see like a red wave come through.
Hmm.
That was like scarily similar to what you described. So you might have had like a crazy bad fever, and
Yeah.
that's what that because I when you were wrapped up and you wake up or whatever, it feels like you're like cooking, like you're in an
Yeah.
oven cooking in a burrito or some shit. I'm like that sounds scarily similar to like a really bad fever. So you might have had like a dummy bad flu or something.
Yeah, and it's just like it was so it was so different because like even when I get like I've had super bad food poisonings, really bad flus, all that sort of stuff. No matter how sick I get, I can still somewhat function.
Hmm.
Like I can get myself to the bathroom. I can sip a little bit of water. I can sit up and try to like watch TV or talk to someone. Like there was not for those 3 4 days, there wasn't a thought that went through my head other than, oh my fucking god, this hurts so bad, kill me now. Like
Damn.
there, I couldn't think. It was a weird and terrifying experience.
It's also strange that it was like 4 days. If it was that bad, you think it'd last like a while. You think it would like kind of tone up and down.
Yeah, no, it was just one constant death march.
Just agony. Just
Yeah,
that was your
absolutely
sickness.
agony.
It was sickness was agony, nothing but pain. No
Yeah,
symptoms other than agony, pain, and suffering. What
yeah,
sickness did you have? I had human suffering. That's my
human
sickness.
suffering. Yeah,
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 things feeling sick in general, no matter what it is just it puts a damper on things. Uh, there's just a lot of like I don't know. It just ruins everything. Like I genuinely hate it so much. Well, I don't think anyone goes, "Oh, sickness," except for like the 5 people on this planet who like fetishize it or something. But
I yeah no, it's if stomach sicknesses I can always work through.
I can't.
I,
That's my fucking Hercules. That's my Achilles heel. I can't do that.
yeah, for me, like a lot of times if I feel like I'm getting sick and I'm like I'm going to throw up, I can tell that's coming on. I'll just go to the bathroom, throw up, so that my stomach is empty and I don't like constantly feel the urge. Like I remember at work, like a couple weeks ago, I go into work and I'm like, I'm gonna throw up at some point today. So I just went to the bathroom and like gagged, kept gagging until something finally came up. Once I emptied my stomach out, I was like, okay, I'm fine. I'm not going to projectile vomit at work anymore because my stomach's empty. So I can just go back to work. That's fine. Stomach sicknesses, I can work through. Head sicknesses, really bad fevers, anything that's like,
Nasal,
yeah, yeah, like
like
that
the
shit.
cat. Yeah.
I cannot do anything when I have like head sicknesses.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's my kryptonite.
I well, as I said, stomach is the worst thing in my opinion. I can't handle it because I have like a ever since I was little, I have like a fear of vomiting.
Mhm.
If I'm not gonna, I don't like oh it's coming out. I'm gonna block my mouth or anything. I don't like the feeling of things coming back up.
That's a dangerous game.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone would do that, but
You just vomit into your
I don't
hand.
like. It's not like a like I feel like I'm not like genuinely like full of like fear, and I like to prevent myself at any means. But
Hmm.
I'll not. I can't like imagine going like "Ugh," and doing that. Like it's just like such an
Oh.
unpleasant experience that I don't do it.
Hmm.
But one other thing that is genuinely I hate, it just makes me mad, is when you have clogged nose and you have to go to bed. And you can't, because when I'm sleeping, I breathe through my nose.
Yep.
And I don't know if anyone listening to this can probably tell. I breathe heavy and through my mouth most of the time because my nose is. I've realized this recently. But also, I've just had this like idea. There's something wrong. I don't know if anyone. It's crooked, and it's because I have like one nostril's always like more full than the other. My nose is fucked up.
Okay.
Not enough for it to be crippling and surgery is needed, but enough for it to be like I don't breathe out my nose as much as everyone else because it's genuinely harder for me.
Mm-hmm.
So you can hear me fucking when I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so when I sleep, that's the one time that it's like the preferred method. And so when I can't sleep. I'll be awake for the whole night. I
Yeah.
sit up and everything. Like you're supposed to sit up, so it kind of gravity helps and everything. I will do whatever it can, and I'll end it. I'll end up sleeping like 2 hours that night because I
Mm-hmm.
just can't stand. It'll be a minor allergies or like a cold, but it knocks me out because I can't sleep with a clogged nose.
Yeah.
Like, man, you look dead. What's wrong with you? You got the flu or something? No, I have a minor cold. But I can't sleep with a stuffed nose, so.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
Sinus issues are fucking annoying and
Yeah.
terrible.
Obnoxious. That's totally like a first world thing, though. I feel like
Oh,
it's like,
yeah,
oh
it
no,
is.
I couldn't get my beauty sleep because my nose was clogged. Oh, woe is me. It's
It,
definitely not a big issue, but of my issues I get in my everyday to day life, that is annoying. Definitely. So
yeah.
allergy season takes me out of commission. God damn, because I get them
I
bad.
I've been blessed, I think, with allergies. I think the most I ever get is I'll get a little sneezy every now and then
Hmm.
for allergies, but that's about it.
I
And
just, yeah.
it's never debilitating. So I'm fortunate that I don't have super bad allergies.
Uh, my uncle, I was talking to him when he was here this weekend for the game and everything.
Mm.
When I was talking to him, we were on our way to like our property, and he's like, "Yeah, I went to the doctor and they did the allergy test on me the other day. They found out I'm allergic to almost everything that grows outside." And he's like, "I always wondered why when I mowed the lawn I couldn't breathe and was coughing like crazy. I just thought it was
Mhm.
like the dust, you know?" I'm like, "Dude, how are you alive?"
Yeah, yeah,
He's like it's like everything, like grass, weeds, every tree, like everything in his area. Like
yeah,
how in ancient world, like in like a nomadic like hunter gatherer society, he wouldn't be here anymore.
yeah.
They would have kicked him out because he kept sneezing and scaring away all the game. Like, oh my god.
Reminds me of that Vine that's like there's a bunch of deer outside and the dude sneezes and scares off all the deer and then the wife is like, "Damn it, Ron."
What, am I not allowed to sneeze?
Oh
I've
my,
seen that, yes.
thank you.
That's
Thank
such a
you.
classic. I don't know. I
Um
didn't know it was a Vine. I saw it only after, like, I saw it in meme compilations. I didn't know it was a Vine.
at least you've seen it. So I
Yeah.
don't feel too old.
Well, I mean, I was this. I'm fairly certain we're the same age. Vine was around both of our, I just didn't use Vine.
Yeah, but like a
It's not an
lot of
age
people
thing.
like you've seen it. I always reference a bunch of vines and memes and shit
I'd
like that.
probably get most of them.
And yeah, you get them. Syl does not get them at all, ever. And
Disappointing.
I'm always like, damn, am I old or is like what's the deal?
I don't think Vine as a concept wasn't as popular as everyone thinks it was. TikTok dwarfed it in popularity. Like if
Well,
they
yeah,
were TikTok is kind of like modern day Vine, and TikTok definitely like its peak is higher than Vine's peak ever was and ever could have hoped to be.
I I think that's because when Vine came out and it was this new sort of novel concept and it
Hmm.
attracted a lot of people who liked it and were like attracted to that idea. And then TikTok, it attracted all the people who liked Vine as well as creating its new audience.
Yeah,
So it's like it's doubly as effective as a like popular concept because it got the old people who loved Vine and it also got the new people that never were exposed to Vine.
I feel like the reason Vine never really took off, I mean, it did, it was huge, but at the scale TikTok is going to, I thought TikTok would die by now. I thought it was going to be a trend, and it clearly hasn't. It's become this, like, it's almost like a new platform. Like, it's this big thing.
Hmm.
And I think Vine didn't because Vine came out at a time where the younger generation was too young to care, and the generation who would have the phones and look at those things was like
Hmm.
at that point like probably like the millennials, right? And they
Yeah.
were their attention spans weren't as tainted as the youth of today. And so they were like, oh, cool, 6-second video. That's kind of fun. I'll have it on my phone and open it twice every year. And now the poisoned youth, like my little cousins who are like 6 and 5, are like, they know all the TikTok stuff, right? Which I argue they shouldn't, but they do.
Yeah.
They're not my kids, but it's like their attention span is able to, so like it's not as like weird to have a short. They're not limited to 6 seconds as far as I'm aware, but
yeah, they just got expanded to like 3 minutes.
Yeah, there was an audience that existed. The one that, as you said, the Vine people who liked Vine in that concept, and then the new young audience, the new younger generation who like are crackheads and really like shit that lasts like half a second. They're like, oh my god, even like a minute video is like, oh, this is so long, can I skip? Like I thought I had a bad attention span, but I don't get it. So like as you know, I don't participate in the TikTok whatever, but I did all my contact through Vines was just memes, because memes like ripped Vines all the time. So the only reason I knew it was Vine is because I had a little watermark. That's about it.
Yeah.
So that's my connection with it.
It's a depressing thought about how like so much of today's popular media is the short clips, and then we every week create this hour-long product for our audience, and like you said, nobody watches the entire hour.
Oh well, we always get one or two.
Well, still
people we know.
Still and Max do, and that's about it.
Well, try to put in their shoes. It's probably hard to get into a podcast of people you either don't know because they don't have a pre-existing library of content to look at, or are like a smaller thing, because it's such a commitment listening to one. It's an hour, right? It's not 6 seconds. It's not a tick. Like, why do you think TikTok's people are able to get famous so quick? Oh, I watched this 30-second funny video they made. Now it's just 2 buttons, like and follow. That's how they get a gazillion followers, because someone goes, that was funny, like, follow. They might not even ever watch their stuff ever again, so they get these big ballooning numbers. And it's the difference in mediums. Like, for us, like, those people, if someone watches the whole thing, that's very, like, yo, you did? Crazy, I'm so appreciative, because it's like a commitment. They had to either sit and watch or do it while doing chores or some shit. I just think that's like, I don't expect like all of the viewers to watch it all the way through, and I don't know if it's really an issue of like attention spans. It's more of like you don't know if you're gonna like that whole hour, so you're gonna go to something that like is good. Like it's just how it is, and everyone and their freaking mother has a podcast nowadays. So
yeah, that's true.
It's just how I like them, and I don't do them because they're popular. I do them because I like them as a concept.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's an unfiltered. It's a good way to like look into the 2 people that are 2, 1, 3, 5, whatever. The people talking. It's a good look into their psyche. It's unedited, well, within reason. It's pure.
Yeah.
We're just reverting back to like episode 2 and episode 1 with that topic.
Yeah.
But to bring it back to like Vine and TikTok, I get what you're saying. It's like kind of disheartening to see like let's be real. The effort is we sit and talk for an hour, and then I cut out the parts where we get up and piss, and and then I upload it. But even that, like, it's like as I said, as a podcast are a pure. It's a conversation between people who are presumably friends. I don't know. I can't speak for other podcasts. And that like heart and soul of a conversation is getting like 5-minute average concurrent view, and then they cut off, and it's like I could see how that'd be disheartening. I see where you're coming from of like, but I think it's just par for the course, especially we're new on the block. No one knows us yet. No one knows how good we are, okay?
I'm not worried about I'm not like you said. I'm not doing this. You're not doing this. We're not doing this to get famous. We're doing
No.
this because it's a fun thing we enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's cool. And yeah.
I'm not being passive aggressive to my audience, I swear.
On that note, if you watched the whole thing and you're still here,
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for
Do the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all that shit.
Heck yeah. When we get to 10 subscribers, I will personally mail you I will pick one of the 10 and I will mail one of you a pen that I used to write a signature. You won't get the signature, you'll get the pen I used. I know. Crazy. I'll do the spinning number generator. I'll pick one of 10. So one more. We're almost there. That pen is calling.
So close to the great milestone of 10 whole subscribers.
We are so close. Ooh, let's get this bread. Thanks for watching, and
thanks for watching.
have a good day.
Love you.